Hey, what's happening? Ryu here. I've been playing Elite Dangerous for the last few months and I've had a lot of fun. So I wanted to share my ship's loadout. And by all means, you're welcome to use it, or if there's anything you do differently, please comment below and tell me. And obviously, I'm learning still, so it all helps. I fly an Anaconda, and I find that this loadout is really good for most ventures in the game. And it's a really good multi-role ship. With the only real downside I've found is that you can't just land anywhere that hasn't got a large landing pad. But other than that, it's been treating me well. So without further ado, let's get into it, and I'll show you the loadout. Right, so let's see. The first thing I want to show you is my ship's. If I can find it, there we go. My ship's defense. So my shield health is 1116 with a shield kinetic resistance of 41.8%. I have a thermal resistance of 27.6, which obviously I'd like to be higher. And by no means is this build complete. I'm still focused on grinding out the engineers and getting better mods for my ship, but this is what I've got at the moment. So this is my loadout. I've got explosive resistance of 57.1. My armor health is 1671 with an armor rating of 65, which isn't bad, I don't think. I mean, usually my shields are up anyway, so it matters not, but I think I've got quite a lot of armor if my shields do go down. So I've got a kinetic resistance of minus 17% on that, a thermal resistance of 2.5%, and explosive resistance of minus 36.5. So obviously, ideally that could be better. And obviously, I'm going to be grinding out the engineers to get hull modifications and obviously, that sort of thing. So right, let's go into outfitting, and I will show you what I've got. So first of all, I'll show you this. I've got an integrity of 2227.5. I've got a top speed of 231. I mean, it's slow, but obviously with the modifications I've got on my frame shift drive, no, that's wrong. Anyway, the modifications I've got, it allows me to basically keep boosting continuously, which is great because it means I then cruise at the boost speed of 308, which still isn't fast, but it's fast enough. Obviously, as you can see, my total mass is fairly high. My max power is 40.05 megawatts. This is due to a modification I did to the power plant when I first set the build up, because I was over when I was deployed. When I deployed everything, I was well over my limit on the power, so I got a bigger battery, and since then I've gone for quite a lot of efficient things, and it's brought my power usage back down to where I could probably comfortably use a normal power plant. But because of the modification I've got on it, I didn't really get a bad roll on the integrity of it, so my integrity is still pretty much nearly full. So I just kind of left it on. You don't know what I might add to the ship later on, so I thought keep it there. It's not hurting anyone, so it's there. So you can see retracted, I'm using 32.78 megawatts, and deployed I've got 37.7 megawatts. My jump range is 22.5 light years, which it does me just fine. No, for just hopping around the bubble and just general not too far exploration, I'm quite happy with that. I will get another mod in the future which will bring that up, but at the moment it's not one of my biggest concerns. So let's go into hardpoints and I'll show you what my weapon loadout is. So I've kind of got the basic cookie cutter, I should say, like hardpoints. I've got like the multi-cannons and the pulse lasers. I do have two turreted beam lasers on my small weapons down here, but let's show you weapon by weapon what I've got. So I've got a huge multi-cannon first off, and obviously this is gimbaled and it's modified, so let me just show you the modification. Fuck. Okay, so I had to move where my camera was overlaid because it was actually in the way of the stats, so I've moved that. So let's get back on with the build. Right, so I've got a grade 5 modification to my huge multi-cannon. As you can see, I've got incendiary rounds on there as well. I did go for the efficient weapon mod. I've done that for all my weapons, just to let you know. I've got a grade 5 efficient weapons on all my multi-cannons and grade 4 pulse lasers, and obviously grade 3 beam lasers. The guy, the engineer Dweller, I got them from him. So for my efficient weapon on the multi-cannon, you can see I've got a bit more mass, but my integrity's gone up, my power draw's gone up, my damage per second's gone up, my damage has gone up, my distributor draw has gone down, my thermal load has gone up slightly, which is obviously a negative, we don't want that, but hey ho, it's alright. Rate of fire has gone down, and my damage type is kinetic, and now it's gone to thermal on my current, and that's obviously due to the incendiary rounds. As you can see, I got quite a good buff of it. Like, the power draw has gone down by 17%, my integrity has gone up by 12%, my damage per second has gone up by 6%, my damage has gone up by 11.6%, which is, it's quite a good roll, and my distributor draw has gone down by minus 39.5, which I think is quite good. Right, so going back on my 2 large hard points, I've got, on my 3 large hard points, I've got a multi-cannon and 2 pulse lasers. So let's have a look at the multi-cannon first. You see I've gone for a grade 5 efficient weapon again. Now this was a really good roll. As you can see, I've got blue on the whole shebang. I've got a minus 1.8% mass drop. My integrity's gone up by 12.8%. The power draw has gone down by minus 24.3. My damage per second has gone up by 8.6. My damage has gone up by 8.6 as well. My distributor draw has gone down by 33.1%, and my thermal load has also gone down by 55.1. So I was quite pleased with this roll. It's a really good roll. Right, now going on to the pulse lasers in my other 2 large hard points. You see I've gone efficient again, grade 4, so I've got a integrity has gone up by 19.6, my power draw has gone down by 28%, my damage per second has gone up by 8.3, my damage has gone up by 8.3, my distributor draw has gone down by 27.7, and my thermal load has also gone down by 52.8. So another decent roll. The other pulse laser, again, I've gone efficient, grade 4. This one wasn't as nice a roll, but it was okay. My integrity's gone down by 2%, but my power draw has gone up by 26.1. My damage per second has gone up by 7.7. My damage has gone up by 7.7, and my distributor draw has gone down by 26.8. My thermal load has gone down by 47.1, and I've also gained armor piercing, and that's gone up by 5.9. So that's not a bad roll either, really. Right, now going into my 2 medium hard points. You can see I've got multi-cannons in both. They're both efficient as well. So grade 5 efficient, as you can see, I've got all blue. So my integrity's gone up by 30%. My power draw has gone down by 29.2. My damage per second has gone up by 11.8. My damage has gone up by 11.8. My distributor draw has gone down by 21%. My thermal load has gone down by 56.2, and my armor piercing has gone up by 0.6%. So really good roll on that one. And in my next hard point, let me just get onto it. Right, you see grade 5 efficient again. I've got a power draw that's gone down by 24.1%. Damage per second has gone up by 7.1. My damage has gone up by 7.1. My distributor draw has gone down by 34.4, and my thermal load has gone down by 55.3. And obviously armor piercing has gone up by 0.6. So another really good roll on that. My 2 small beams, let's just see. Yeah, efficient again, grade 3. It's the highest I could do with that engineer. As you see, not a bad roll. It's gave me power draw down by 15.6, damage per second's gone up by 7.8, distributor draw has gone down by 21.6, my thermal load has gone down by 47.1, and my armor piercing's gone up by 0.6. But not a bad roll, you know, for a grade 3 modification. It's not too bad. So let's have a look at the other beam. It's also modified with a grade 3. See, armor piercing's gone down by 7.4 on this, so it's not the best roll I could have had, but it wasn't bad because, I mean, as you can see, my power draw's gone down by over a quarter. It's gone down by 26.5. My mass has also gone down by 2.7. My damage per second's gone up by 2.8. My distributor draw has gone down by 22.9, and my thermal load has gone down by 56.9 with this modification. I probably will re-roll this once I unlock the engineer for higher modifications, but it'll do for now. It just means with all these efficient weapons, if I fire them all at the same time, I only have to put, you know, 2 or 3 pips into weapons, and I don't have to worry about my thermal load or anything like that. I can just keep firing, and it's fine, you know. In the middle of combat, you don't have to sit there worrying, oh, I'm going to have to stop firing in a minute because I'm going to overheat and stuff like that. It's pretty good, so I'm enjoying that. It means I can just do combat as I want without having to focus too much on like what my thermal signature's like and stuff like that. So that's my hard points. If we go into utility mounts, I'll show you what I've got in there. You see that I've got all shield boosters, and then I've got a heat sink at the bottom because obviously they heat you up big time, so you need something to bring that heat down. So starting at the top, you see they're all modified, grade 1 modifications on them. And on my shield boosters, I've gone for resistant augmented shield boosters. So it means the power draw has gone up and the integrity has gone down, but overall it means that I get a shield boost of plus 39.2%. And obviously you can see I've got the kinetic resistance, thermal resistance and the explosive resistance of 1.88 on this. And I've done this throughout, so I'm just going to be quick with these and just show you. You see the power draw again and the integrity's gone a bit to shit, but everything else has gone up, so I've got quite a decent roll on the kinetic resistance of plus 2.9 on that. So I'll quick shoot through these and show you. See again, that's 2.65, 3.3, 3.6. That one's a bit of a really rubbish roll, to be honest, so I probably will re-roll that, but I'm going to get the guy unlocked so I can actually get a higher modification on these than just the grade 1. I did this just so I had something on there. See, that's 1.5 on the kinetic and explosive, but 2.85 on the thermal. The heatsink launcher is just a heatsink launcher, it's not got any modifications on. And that's my utility mounts. So my core internals, I've got a 1A military grade composite bulkhead. That's not modified at all. I've got a grade 8 power plant, and this is modified, so I'll show you the modification on this. You see I did the overcharged power plant, and it means my integrity's gone down by 3.6% and its heat efficiency has gone up by 1.9, but I've lost 5.3% mass and my power capacity's gone up by 11.2%, so I quite like this roll. And when I first started playing with the Anaconda, and I was obviously suffering a lot with like my power, obviously when I did this modification, it was probably the first modification I did, and it really helped. So I've kind of kept it there because it wasn't a bad roll, and you don't know what you might put on in the future, so that's why it's still there. Right, so I've got thrusters, 7A thrusters. These are modified. I've got a mod of a grade 3 clean drive tuning. and as you can see there, it's given me an integrity down by 21%, power draw has gone up by 14.7, and my optimal mass has gone down by 5.9. They're the negatives, but the plus is my optimal multiplier has gone up by 15.3%, and my thermal load has gone down by 32.5. This is quite a noticeable modification. When you put these on, you do notice like a dramatic increase in like maneuverability. Not a drastic increase in speed, but definitely more maneuverable, which is good, because obviously when you're chasing them smaller ships, they can be a bit hard to catch in such a large ship. So with this on, you know, if I drop the speed down, take flight assist off, it means I can jump myself back round and follow smaller ships, which was, you know, quite evasive before. So carrying on, we've got a modified frame shift drive 6A. So I'll show you this. I've got an increased frame shift drive range. It's given us a boot time of -9.7 and an optimized mass of plus 27.7%, which isn't bad. My power draw has gone up, my integrity's gone down, and my mass has gone up as well. They're the negatives, but I mean, this is really good. It got me the 22.5 light years I've got to jump, which is more than enough for me and my play style. I've gone for the 5D life support, no modifications there. Gives me emergency life support of 7.3, but I'm sure the least of my worries is something like a popped canopy, when if my shields was to go down, people are just going to target my power plant and leave me dead in space. So, you know, it doesn't really matter too much. 7A power distributor, 8A I should say, power distributor. This is modified, so I'll show you what modifications I've got. A charged enhanced power distributor, grade 3. As you can see, my weapon capacity, engine capacity and systems capacity has gone down. Weapons by 2%, engines by 6.6 and systems by 6.6, but my weapons recharge, engines recharge and systems recharge have all gone up by 23.6%. Well, the engine's gone up by 20.8, and this is great because it means it recharges really fast. It allows me to keep boosting. It means I can effectively cruise at the 308, and I mean, that's alright for a big ship like this. It gets you about. So carrying on, I've got the 8D sensors, and I've got a 5C fuel tank. I do actually have another fuel tank as well. I'll explain it later on in the build, but I use it as like an optional slot, so depending on what I'm doing, whether I'm jumping or whether I'm in combat or whatever, you know, I use that slot as a multi-role slot that I can change out. But this is what I've got. I've got the 5C fuel tank, and I've got a 5D hull reinforcement package in my military compartment. None of this is modified, so it's just basic, and that's it. Right, so going into optional internals, I'll show you what I've got in here. I've got the 7C BioWeave shield generator. Obviously I chose BioWeave for the faster recharge. When I put 4 pips into shield, it holds quite strong. I've face tanked Anacondas and like federal dropships and stuff like that, and they're dead long before like I lose even like say a ring of shield. So they're really good. I like these shields. I might go for the prismatic shields maybe later in the game once I've done the ground with the modifications, but for now these are what I've got. So the modifications I've got is a grade 3 thermal resistant shields. As you can see, my integrity's gone up by 28.1, and my thermal resistance has gone up as well by 34.5. My hull mass has gone down by 3%, and my kinetic resistance has gone down by 8.44. So you see their big thermal resistance kick up the arse there, so it's quite good. I've got shield cell banks. As you can see there, my spin up time minus 8.5, and the shield reinforcement is up by 10%. My thermal load has gone up, my duration has gone down, and my boot time has also gone up. But I mean, they do the job. I've had no problems with them, so I'm pleased with the roll. And I'll show you on my other shield cell bank. I've also got a rapid charge shield cell bank. That's gave me a spin up time of -9% and a shield reinforcement of +9%. So again, I've had no problems with these in combat. You know, I'm not 100% whether it's a really good roll, but it's alright for me, so it's doing the job. For my fuel scoop, I've got a 6B fuel scoop. It makes jumping around a lot easier because you don't have to slow down as you go round a star with this. It goes up to about 750 and your fuel goes up really fast. And generally you don't have to worry about having to go, oh, I've got to slow down, scoop the star before I can then boost off, carry on my journey. You can just do it in one swoop, which makes it nice and easy. I've got a 5E cargo rack. I've got a fighter hangar, 5D fighter hangar, with the F63 Condor. I forgot which one I used for this. Yeah, so I've got the one with the fixed multi-cannons and the chaff. I wasn't sure what I was picking, to be honest, but I mean, it does the job. I don't really deploy it all that much, because usually I'll forget that it's out and then I'll boost off and obviously it blows it up, so I don't really piss around with that. But I mean, it's there. I thought, I've got a space, chuck one in, why not? I've got a 5C fuel tank. This is the optional slot that I was referring to. Right now I've got a fuel tank in it. It just means jumping around, I don't have to really care too much about if I run through a series of stars that I can't scoop because I've got such a large fuel tank. But this, depending on what I'm going to do, I could put more cargo racks in there, I could have an interdictor in there, another hull reinforcement if I'm going to do a lot more combat where I might think I need it. Generally I usually put an interdictor in there depending on what I'm up to. I mean, you can also put passenger cabins in that slot, so if you're doing like passenger missions, you know, that sort of thing, you could have more shield cell banks. It's literally that's the slot where it's effectively a free slot. You can do what you want with that slot. Like I say, at the moment I've got a fuel tank in there. I've got a planetary vehicle hangar with 2 SRVs in. Obviously when you're grinding engineer materials, it helps to be able to land on a planet and actually do it. So this is another thing that allows the ship to just carry on being a good multi-role ship. I've got another cargo rack, 4E cargo rack, and another 4E cargo rack. And I've got an advanced discovery scanner, planetary approach suite, and that's it. That's for my optional internals. And let me see, yeah, so that's the build.